Are the Cowboys frauds?
See, I think I still feel comfortable about how I was sitting because you know me, and it will go. My question always was that's why I wasn't ready to gas them.
Okay.
It's because the question always was, how long will it last? As always is with the Cowboys. And you know they say the more things, the more. What do they say? What do they say? The more things get different, the more they say the same.
Yep.
And I think with the Cowboys right now, it's how it feels. But again, much like the Lions, could this just maybe be where they cool off this game? Maybe they lose another one in a row. And then you get hot again just at the perfect time. If you're a Cowboys fan, that's definitely the most optimistic way to look at this because maybe you did just have to cool off at the perfect time just to get hot again at the perfect time. But this is definitely one of those ones where you go in and you're like, at least we wanted to see a competitive game if we're going to lose. I mean, you got the shit kicked out of you. And the weirdest thing about it is that they got the shit kicked out of them in an area that I did not think that they were vulnerable to as much, where they got ran all over.
By the Bills.
By 221 total yards, 2 touchdowns. No, I'm sorry. That was just from James Cook. 266 total rushing yards, which is the most in the Sean McDermott era. I mean, like getting back, it's just why can't the Cowboys just be consistent? That is the question. There's, in my opinion, and again, back to every Cowboys fan would agree, there's just too much talent on the roster for these debacles to happen.
Especially when you have a team like the Bills who have been so up and down all year. So I don't know. I like the Cowboys. I think they can bounce back. I think their next 2 games are really going to be telling. I mean, they play the Dolphins on Christmas Eve, and then they play the Lions on December 30th. They played the Commanders last week. Obviously, division rival, anything can happen. But I think if they are able to confidently beat the Dolphins and Lions, I feel like I'll have a little bit more confidence going into the playoffs. But until they beat those teams, I don't know how much you can say for sure. I think this game actually spoke more about the Bills.
Oh, it did. And that's why I say, like, really what I want to transition to for me more than anything is that, look, and again, back about getting hot at the right time. The Bills were so cool for so long. Just maybe are the Bills, like, because I was thinking about this, like, it's weird. You think about the AFC right now. I mean, you tell me a team you wouldn't want to play less than the Bills. I mean, I think that the way that things have changed, the way injuries have happened, the way the Chiefs are looking, I mean,
I wouldn't want to play the Bills.
Out of nowhere, are the Bills looking like they just could maybe come and steal a spot in the bowl?
They won by 3 touchdowns with Josh Allen throwing for 94 yards. If that doesn't scare you as an AFC team, I don't know what does.
And that's the thing is, like, a lot of the Bills' losses were very close. It's not like this is. It feels like one of those years where, like, just maybe, like, are the Bills turning into the AFC favorites?
Okay, but let's say they lose in the first round. Does Sean McDermott walk back into that stadium next year? Is he back at the team facility?
That's what. So I've been hearing. It went back and forth. We heard at first that his job was in danger. I'm hearing from Buffalo beat sources that he's for sure in. We're all good. But like I always say, we don't know what anyone's thinking except for who's calling the shots at that owner table, GM table. So, I mean, I would say I would lean yes. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of pressure on the Bills, especially because you're looking at the landscape of the AFC now and you're like, wait, we are the underdog, we're the dark horse, and we really might have the most talent with the way that these teams' quarterback situations and the way the teams are playing around us. This year for the Bills feels like this, like out of nowhere, because narrative's changing. Out of nowhere, could they just come take a shot at the AFC chip this year?
It's possible.
It's very possible.